Hi, welcome back to part 2 of my kitchen update. If you haven't seen part 1, click on the top right hand corner to watch that video. After the island is complete, I move on to the hood. I knew I wanted the hood to be wider than the range itself, so I would need to remove the 4 upper cabinets surrounding the current microwave. Like I said before, I don't like to waste anything, so I always knew if I were to remove these cabinets, I would hang them somewhere around the house. I started by removing everything inside the cabinets, and then I removed the cabinet doors. I started underneath the microwave, which I've learned I didn't have to, but you know what, this is the first time for everything. The microwave was held in by 2 screws on top that bolt into the upper cabinets, and has this bracket support that has 2 screws that go into the wall. Once the microwave is off, I started unscrewing the cabinets. One by one, they're just held onto the wall with what looks like construction screws, and they're also held onto each other with screws from the sides. This is my first time doing anything like this, and it's pretty easy. These cabinets also have trim pieces both on top and on the bottom, so I went and cut them with a jigsaw and left them there to finish them off later. I said I was going to hang the 4 cabinets that I removed somewhere in the house, and it just so happened that all 4 of them fit perfectly into the laundry room. I didn't even bother to remove the shelf that is currently there. I went ahead and just placed them on top of the shelf, and then using shim to level them out and screw them right onto the stud behind. To give them a finished look, I added trim pieces on both sides and on the bottom, and that's it for the laundry room. Going back to the kitchen, it was time to build the hood. I started measuring everything. Using the existing quartz backsplash above the range as a guide, I measure everything out from there. This slab is 30 inches wide. I am building the hood to be 36 inches wide. It's going to be the center focal point of the kitchen, so I want it big and wide. The hood I ended up going with is this commercial heavy duty one, and I will put the link in the description below. It is 35.7 inch wide, 10 inch tall, and has a depth of 22 inch. It also weighs about 62 pounds. In order to have this be solid up in the air, I knew I have to build a sturdy frame that can handle this beast. I used the same 2x4 to build the frame like I did for the island. Once that's done, time to get the frames up onto the wall. Of course, there's no studs where I want to hang the frames, therefore I used heavy-duty toggle bolts to hold them onto the drywall. There's about 5 of them on each of the frame leg. To finish the frame, I attach my middle piece where they are screwed onto both legs, then securing the frame onto the ceiling joist. Once the frame is secured, time to attach the hood. This hood is fucking heavy. I was going to call for help, but I was like, you know what? This is DIY, do it yourself, not do it with friends. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself. Totally not recommended, by the way. Anyways, I pulled a bench, put it on top of the stove, got some paint cans and some foam. Somehow I was able to lift the hood up and screw it into one side at a time. So the hood is secure underneath the frame and is also screwed onto the studs in the wall. Look at me, look how fucking ridiculous I look, laying on top of the stove like I'm some grilled asparagus. Are you fucking kidding me? But you know what? I got that shit up though. Again, totally not recommended. The next part was to connect the ductwork. This is the problem that took me a whole entire day. I thought of course I can get a duct that can fit into this little space. But no, the opening of the hood has an 8-inch diameter. The opening of the wall has a 6-inch diameter. I basically have 1 inch to work with. It's hard to explain. Usually you would get a reducer that goes from 8 to 6 inches. I don't have room for that. I called everywhere and everyone that I know that can help me solve this problem. They were either out of town or the shop has no availability to make me a custom duct. I was frustrated. Then I took a sip of alcohol, sat down, and really thought about what I needed to solve this problem. Long story short, I went to Lowe's, bought my own fucking sheet metal, cut it to size, and created my own custom duct. Cause you know what? I'm a problem solver and I get shit done, and nothing is going to hold me back from finishing this project. The ductwork looks way better than this after everything is taped up. On to the next. I masked everything around the frame. It's easier to clean up after paint. I then cover up everything with plywood, preparing for the exterior layer. To straighten out the plywood and to give the underneath the hood a finished look, I added a frame underneath the hood to help bring everything in. Then it was time to shiplap. Super easy. I used the same 4x8 underlayment plywood that I used in my other videos, link in the description. I ripped them into 4.5-inch wide planks with my table saw, cut them to size, and nailed them in. Then I patch up all the nail holes, sand everything flat, then paint. To finish the trims of the cabinets, I measure and cut the trim pieces both the top and the bottom at their 45-degree angles and just nail them in. To finish the sides, I then used the same plywood that I shiplap with, cut them to size, went and got the paint matched to the cabinets white, paint them, and nail them in. Next part was backsplash. We removed the original backsplash ourselves. It was pretty easy. You gotta find where the studs are, use that as an anchor point for the crowbar, and pry away. Because the kitchen has so many straight lines and my cabinets are flat, I need to bring in some imperfection into the kitchen to help make it more homey and inviting. And that's why I chose these ceramic glazed handcrafted tiles to bring in the organic lines. I have never tiled anything before. I can probably do it, but now is not the time to learn. I need this kitchen to be completed. This kitchen has been out of commission for a while and I need this shit done. I called so many tiler, and because of COVID, everyone was booked out for weeks or even months. Somehow I found this guy who got a cancellation and he was able to come in and tile ASAP. So he got it done within 2 days and he did a great job. I don't know how he did it. It's either him or me or both of us, but everything came out perfectly aligned with the hood and perfectly spaced out to the stove. This is one of the things where you're like, alright, let me sit my bitch ass down and pay a professional. And it was worth it. I wanted the tiles to go past the bottom of the cabinets, but not all the way to the ceiling because I wanted to create layers and depth for the kitchen. I wanted the cabinets to look like they're on top of the white backsplash, and the white backsplash to contrast with the great wall behind it to create dimensions. You know what, I'm really just talking out my ass here, but it sounds good, right? I then got these Sconce Lights from Amazon to complement the hood. If you look at my rendering, to really finish off the kitchen, I have these glass doors for the cabinets on both sides of the hood. I searched everywhere for someone to make just the glass doors. I was going to do it myself, but now it's not the time. I'm really trying to finish this kitchen. Anyways, I just happened to walk through Dixieline one day. Long story short, they were able to make the doors for my dimensions. Even though it's not the exact same style as my current cabinets, they were able to match the same white thermofoil color. And because these are accent cabinets, I have them on both sides. I think they look okay. I think this is the best or closest I will ever get to the glass cabinet doors I've always wanted. And you know what? I can live with them. The cabinet doors didn't come with glass, so I had to order glass from another place. Here you see me installing the glass and drilling holes for the handles. This is what the kitchen looks like before, even without the faux beams. All I did here was change out the pendant lights and paint the wall the dark gray. And this is what the finished kitchen looks like today. Like I said before, I don't like to be wasteful. I like to make my design work with what I have. I love how everything turned out. This whole kitchen was a big project. It took a couple months, but I said in the beginning of the year, like, I'm going to make it happen this year. And you know what? I did that. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. The best time is now. It's now or never. The kitchen finally now ties in with the house. The glass cabinet doors expose the inside of the cabinets to bring out that tan color that matches the faux beams that run from the kitchen to the outdoor room. It also adds warmth to the kitchen. I was still able to keep my dark gray wall while having hints of black and tan accent colors to go with the rest of the house. I now truly feel at home, at peace, and a huge project is off my list. But if I can redesign this kitchen from scratch, I would put in a letterbox window in the corner just to bring in some natural light from outside because it tends to get a little dark in the corner. I would put in a 40-inch range, even a 48-inch, but at least a 36-inch. This kitchen size can handle it. I would not put as many cabinets up on top. I would incorporate some actual open shelves. I would do white countertops with some sort of veins and large slabs for the backsplash. I would probably still do white cabinets up on top and a different color on the bottom. I would definitely put in a built-in refrigerator. For the island, definitely a waterfall edge. You know what, I can go on and on and on. My only other wish for the kitchen was a pot filler underneath the hood above the range. I just didn't want to mess with plumbing, I honestly didn't, especially the sink is right there. I might just attach one just for looks, maybe not. To recap what I did, starting with the island, I extended the bottom of the island to give it a sturdy look while incorporating the wine racks on both the front and the back that holds 24 bottles. I put in a microwave on the other side of the island. I also added vertical shiplap to give the island a modern look. On the stove side, I removed the over-the-range microwave, recycled the 4 upper cabinets that I took off and put them in the laundry room. In that space, I built a 36-inch hood over the stove. I got Backsplash installed. I installed glass cabinet doors on both sides of the hood. I was able to do this without wasting any parts of the kitchen, including the appliances. I put the microwave on offer up and someone came and bought it right away. Again, super happy of how everything came out. I had a vision and I turned it into reality. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time.